Hey everybody, thanks
Hi,
for joining
how
us.
are you?
I'm here with Philippe Machaz, VP and co-founder of Guest Centric. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Hi, Jeremiah, how are you doing?
Doing great, thanks. And we are putting on a webinar next week called How to Set Up Your Hotel's Google Tools to Drive Sales Performance. Now, Philippe, tell us what this is about.
So we are actually creating all the technology setup of an hotel. So I think it's going to be really nice because it's real data, and we are going to set Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. So in order to bring data from the e-commerce, means from the booking engine into the Google Analytics, and then we are going to close it. It's kind of like a freebie. We are going to set up Google Data Studio to make very cool reports, so you can use it and send it to your owner or management group. So I think that's what we are going to focus on.
Cool. So this is not a webinar about something. This is actually more of a workshop.
Yeah, it's an hands-on
Yeah.
webinar. We are going to look at data. We are going to look at admin stuff, how to kind of like deep dive into how to set a Google Analytics account, how to set a Google Tag Manager, and I think the fact that we are going to use a real hotel with real data, it will help. It will help a lot.
Cool. So it's
Okay.
really step by step by step with live examples.
Exactly.
Perfect. Well, let me show you a little bit about the reasoning behind why we set this up. We wanted to ask, hey, are your hotel marketing decisions based on revenue or performance? And what are your thoughts on this, Philippe?
I think this is kind of like you are touching a problem. Most of the hotels that I talk with, they are really interested in, okay, what's the revenue of the day, of the week, of the month, of the quarter. But sometimes they don't look at where that money is coming from. So when there's a reservation coming into the hotel, maybe the manager knows that it's coming from Booking.com, but after that stage, it becomes a reservation, right? So the costs of each reservation, it's like lost on the process, okay? And that's why we use the terms revenue or performance. We want to kind of go away from the typical look at the revenue option and start looking at performance. We want to level the playing field. We want to make sure our direct channels, so Book Direct, is growing, and because we have tools to do that, right? So if we monitor correctly, if we focus on what's important, we can bring that direct channel up and try to level. I'm not telling that OTAs are bad; they are actually great, but it's not fair to just give everything to the OTAs.
Right. If we're talking about leveling the playing field, let me use the metaphor of a soccer match. We don't just want to count how many goals each team had. We want to actually see who the strongest players are and really understand on your team who is producing the best, who's advancing your team. Let me show you why that is. Well, we have pros versus cons. If you just base your decision on revenue, well, then your marketing budget is losing a lot of leverage because, well, marketing is usually, I spend X and I expect Y. But the OTAs can just tell your ownership, hey, one bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. And so it's very easy to create those bottom line goals, and it's very hard for you to make a good case for an aggressive marketing campaign. So that's basing your decision on revenue. If you base your decision on performance, we find that, well, that actually gives your brand value a lot more weight, because then you're able to show your management that, hey, I did this campaign and that resulted in X number of extra visits to my landing page for this promotion, and then X number of visits to the booking engine and X number of results. You can have a full chain of ownership through this approach.
And I think you can even look at, so if you really deep dive into data,
Mm-hmm.
you can see patterns like, let's say, okay, San Diego, last year we had the huge volume of people coming from whatever, Brazil on a specific month.
Mhm.
So let's try to use the same, or let's try to use that data,
Mhm.
and let's try to put some marketing dollars there and create something very specific
Yeah.
for them. And that eventually could yield great results. And I think marketing is all about, so marketing should start at the marketing analysis
Mhm.
and not on ideas that you can on basic ideas that you can discuss.
Nothing random.
Yeah, random ideas.
Yeah. Well, actually, on the Brazil point, I've actually talked with Expedia business developers, and they're happy about sharing their metadata.
Sure.
So hotels can understand that, hey, this month for Brazilians is really a great target. You should put out a marketing campaign
Yeah.
on that. Yes, it will decrease the dependency on the OTAs, but that creates a level playing field, and that creates a more of a win-win
Sure.
situation.
And this is exactly why the OTAs are bigger,
Mm-hmm.
because they really study and look at data.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what we are trying to give independent or smaller chains. We are trying to give them tools that they could use to be more prepared to create an offer that makes sense for a specific period of time.
Perfect.
I think that's what we are trying to do.
Perfect. So please join us for our webinar, How to Set Up Your Hotel's Google Tools to Drive Sales Performance. Looking forward to seeing you online, hearing your questions, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.